Hi there. Welcome to a demo of VerifyiQ. I am really excited to show you what this tool can do for your firm. It's going to help create a consistent review process so your entire team knows what is expected when reviewing the books for quality. It is also going to ensure high quality, high accuracy when delivering financial information to your clients. And it is going to provide a place for you to manage all of the quality control for your firm. So you know where things are, what the status is for your clients from a quality control place in one location. I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of slides, with a bunch of bullet points. We're going to jump right into the tool. I'm going to show you how it works. Let's go. Great. We've arrived. You will notice within VerifyiQ a very simple to use user interface. Our customers are always telling us how small the learning curve is for their employees. They're able to jump right in and begin working productively on day one. I'm going to show you around the client dashboard here, and then we will jump into an actual review. You'll notice all the normal search criteria, various filters that you can set up, and high-level information related to each of your clients that is sortable. If you jump into the team tab, this is where you can manage all of your team members. One of the beautiful things about VerifyiQ is the fact that we do not limit the number of team members you can have in here. So every subscription includes unlimited team members. The only exception is the sole proprietor plan, which is designed for firms of one person, so you don't need many team members set up in there. I'll show you briefly in the team member setup. You have a bunch of different user types that you can create, and the team member types gives you different levels of permission related to the client management. So you can set up users to have no ability to manage the clients, just to do the actual work. You can set up their ability to manage clients, and then a granular level of what clients they can manage from within here. And of course, you have client assignments for both bookkeeper and reviewer levels. If we go back to the client list, the add new client button, you have a whole bunch of buttons that you can push with respect to setting up your clients. Service frequency, are they monthly, quarterly, or a yearly client? Due date, when do you expect to have the work done by? Individual user assignments, time zone, really important for pulling reporting depending on where that client exists in the world. You can set up solo review, which is designed for those clients you have that you do not need a two-step review process. You have a single person who is working on that client and they just need VerifyiQ to be their second set of eyes. You can set up a solo review for them. You can also set up scheduled reviews on a per client basis. So the ability to have VerifyiQ start the review process automatically, saving your team a bunch of clicks to get the review initiated and giving you better reporting to see where every review for the firm is on an automated basis. So once you get those set up, you will have your list of clients. If you have a client that you've not set up previously, you can connect them to the general ledger here. Goes through the normal third-party process for QuickBooks Online and Xero for connecting that general ledger. Once the general ledger is connected, you click on the client name and you will be confronted with a date picker. Now, you can choose for a single month, you can choose for multiple months, you can do whatever, you have the flexibility to do whatever you need to do. I'm going to go ahead and do multiple months here. You can pick who the bookkeeper is going to be, who the reviewer is going to be, and start the review. Right now, it is reaching out to QuickBooks Online. It is applying over 30 different tests to each individual transaction, all financial statement balances, and it's going to return for us all of the flags that need to be addressed. Great. The review is done, and as you can see right away, there's a bunch of work we need to do. 18% of the transactions appear to be correct, 9% have a warning, and 73% have an error. Now, you can click on these individual circles, you can get the full list, but it is really helpful to go through each of these tabs and figure out what needs to be addressed. The dashboard tab is primarily an informational tab for scoping purposes. If you scope based on transaction volume or financial information, financial volume, but it does provide some additional tests on this dashboard tab. So you can see we have a list of bank and credit card accounts, the number of transactions for the period under review, and the date of last reconciled transaction. And right away, we can see one of the bank accounts has not been reconciled in a long time. So we need to either address that fix the issue, or maybe there's a reason why. If there's a reason why, we can change the status of this flag and provide an explanation. Client has refused to provide bank statements. So now the reviewer understands why I have overridden the status of this transaction. And now that I did that, you can see there's a green check with a red underline to indicate the original status of this transaction. And if I click on here, you can see there's an explanation as to why. Now, I'm the same person responding here, but you can see how a reviewer or a bookkeeper can have a threaded conversation here. As a reviewer, I might say, I will contact the client. And they can share that comment here. You can see we're up to 2 comments in the list, and we can collaborate right there on that item. In addition to that information, it includes summary information of invoices, deposits, payments, bills, and journal entries. It also includes, for QuickBooks Online, new items that have been created during that period. So accounts, projects, vendors, customers, you can actually customize that list that you want to see new items that were created for that period. Doesn't necessarily mean there's an issue, but it's really great to have your eyeballs on that, especially if there's multiple people who have their fingers in the general ledger. And then some financial information, high-level financial info for the period under review and the trailing 12 months. Now, let's jump into this reconciliation tab, which, as you can see, there's 321 incorrect items, not a surprise given what we saw on this dashboard. Now, in this list, which is a very long list, you can see there's also a view button here. This view is a deep link to both QuickBooks and Xero that will take you directly to the transaction. So if you see transactions in here that maybe need to be voided, maybe need to be edited, maybe the date is wrong, you can click this link and it will take you directly to that transaction, saving you a lot of time trying to find it, through the general ledger software, make the necessary adjustments. And then there's a rescan button that you can click here, which will then update the review for any changes that you've made in the general ledger. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and do a bulk override of these transactions because we've already explained we don't have any bank statement. So I'm going to do a change it correct, missing bank statements, and I'll go ahead and save an override. It's going to put a comment on every single one of these transactions and override those transactions. And you can see our scores change significantly now. Only 2% have a warning, 3% have errors. Let's go through the rest of the tabs and figure out where they are. Large purchases. There are 3 items marked as incorrect. We can click on the flag to see this item is over the error threshold of $2,500. Now, you'll notice these are all in an account called subcontractor, which probably will frequently have large purchases in it that don't need our attention. They don't need to be capitalized. It's not furniture, or office equipment, or something to that effect. So I'm actually going to go into the test rules here. And this is where you can customize the test rules on a per client basis. So if I go to this large purchases, I can add subcontractors to this list. And now it will no longer flag subcontractor related transactions. While we're in here, I will also show you, here's that new items list. So if you want customers to show up, you could turn that on or off, vendors on or off, employees, a variety of dials that you can adjust. Now I'm going to save these rules. I'm going to rescan later. I don't want to create the rescan right now, but by doing this, that large purchases tab will no longer create these false positives because subcontractor related transactions will not be flagged. Inconsistency tab. This is my favorite tab by far. What this does is 3 different things. It will flag transactions where there's a missing vendor name. None are flagged here, so that's a really good sign. It's also going to flag transactions where this vendor has not been seen in the prior 12 months. So this will capture potential fraud. It will capture, potential typos, situations where a vendor has not been seen for 12 months. Not necessarily wrong, but requires some attention just to double check and make sure. And then third, inconsistent categorization where a single vendor was previously categorized in one account and now it's being categorized in a different account. It provides some details around that previous categorization. If you need to make those changes, again, there's this hyperlink to the individual transaction and you can make those edits in QuickBooks Online or Xero. I'm going to go ahead and bulk override these transactions, change them to correct, reviewed, and correct, which we probably know is not true based on these flags, but we're just going to do it for the demo. And you can see how our score is being updated every single time. The income statement, this review is probably the review you're already telling your team you expect them to do. Look for negative revenue, negative expenses. Are there clearing accounts that should have a zero balance? Maybe there's certain accounts that should be a negative, depending on how you are treating them. Or balances in sub accounts, or I'm sorry, balances in parent accounts where sub accounts exist. You can turn that on or off. And in this case, you can see very quickly, we have a flag here. If we click on it, this is a balance in a parent account that is above zero. So this insurance expense probably has sub accounts like auto or business insurance, health insurance, and this $929 is being categorized to the parent account. You can turn that on or off. That is your choice on a per client basis and at the firm default level. Right now, it is getting flagged. The balance sheet is the same. In this case, our balance sheet is clean. But if there are negative assets, negative liabilities, suspense accounts, undeposited funds, if there's a balance in undeposited funds, that will show up. Again, like the other rules, you can customize these rules. You can create exceptions. You can identify zero balance accounts. You have full control there. Accounts receivable and accounts payable. This is going to allow you to create aging reports based on date thresholds that you prefer for that individual client, and then it will flag any past due balances or irregular transactions, negative transactions, or negative balances in either AP or AR. Income statement comparison. This is another fun one that is giving you insights really quickly as far as any weird trends or balances that are happening month after month. So I did this review for 3 months, which is why it's flagging all 3 of these months. And I can click on the flag to see, oh, this was more than 3% from the previous month. Again, not necessarily an issue, but it is going to help you to identify potential problems. In fact, if we scroll down here, you'll notice here's a balance, that insurance expense again. Maybe that's a yearly expense, maybe not. Maybe something came up there. We can see that really quickly and easily without having to necessarily look at every single transaction. And that 3% and 6% threshold are customizable on a per client basis. So you can really dial that in both for the income statement and the balance sheet. You can see the Amex balance is fluctuating significantly. You might say, hey, I expect it to, it's a credit card, and you could exempt Amex from this rule if you don't want to create those false positives. So you have a really great way to look at things on that income statement and balance sheet comparison to see the month over month trend history. Now, before I jump into this month end close, I'm just going to go into the test rules once again, just to show you the wide variety of things that you can adjust. The reconciliation days, the large purchases amounts in the accounts, inconsistency. If, Amazon is one of those accounts where there's going to be a lot of inconsistent categorization, you can exempt it. The income statement, this is where you can flag parent accounts or not. Negative balance accounts, zero balance accounts, balance sheet, the same, AR and AP aging. The income statement comparison, you can put a threshold for within a dollar amount that would be correct, percentages that will create the warning and error, and then excluding individual accounts. And then you can adjust the number of comparative periods. And one thing to also note is for most of these tests, you can turn them on or off. So for example, like this account didn't have any AP or AR. If I turn these off, I'm going to save and we'll come back out here. AR and AP are no longer going to show up in this list because this account doesn't have any AR or AP. So it disables those tabs and disables those tests from the review. Now, finally, the month-end close tab. This serves two purposes. One is a checklist item. This isn't meant to be a practice management system that you are putting checklist items for all the things that need to be done in a given period for a client. What this is really checklist items related to that quality control review. Maybe there's different dashboards where you need to reconcile transactions. Maybe you have some sort of lead sheet that you want to create a link to or something like that. You can put those in here. They will be recreated every single period. And then once completed, you can override them. Done. And now those will be completed. In addition is the client health score. Now, this is only available in our enterprise account. And what this is an internal check to rate the health of the client relationship. So you can customize these questions, 100% customizable to your firm, but these are our defaults. Will we deliver on time? We're going to deliver on time, but it's going to be draft because there's a lot of unreconciled transactions. How happy are you with this client? I'll say I really like them. They seem to be good. This is actually my favorite question on this survey here. How happy do you think the client is with us? So this is an opportunity for your team members to kind of say to their supervisor, their manager, or possibly you that there's an issue. I can't believe they're even still around. So I like them, but they seem to be pretty grumpy. And when's the last time I interacted? I'm going to say it's been over a year because they haven't given me the bank statements. So you can provide some additional notes. And what this is going to do, I'm actually going to jump back out to our client dashboard. You will notice there is a flag saying this client needs immediate attention, and that's due to that client health score, you'll see, which is 45%. So if I click on this flag, so you as an owner or manager, you might see these flags and you can jump in immediately, see what is going on here, and then either intervene by contacting the client, contacting the team member who left this survey, and really get ahead of any issues proactively. So now I've gone through, I've reviewed everything. I've, ready to send it to the reviewer. There's a button here, submit to reviewer, that will send an email to the assigned reviewer. They'll say, hey, Acme and Company is ready for your review. It's a review score of 96%. They will come in here and they can then see everything that the bookkeeper has done, all of the notes, provide additional comments. And then they can either send the review back to the client, sorry, send the review back to the bookkeeper or team member, or they can complete that review, say, we are good to go. Let's move on. Oh, I didn't look at the health score. And make sure that the reviewer reviews that health score. We're going to complete it. And now we are ready for the next quarter, the next month, the next period. So you can see just how powerful this tool is for creating that consistent review process for all team members. It's a universal vernacular when you are talking about the quality control process, and you have a full history of the reviews. So you can come in here and look month over month, quarter over quarter, look at all of the scores, see if anything is going on, and really jump in if you need to an individual review and see what that was for that given period. See the date of when it was completed as well. That's VERIFYiQ in a nutshell. We offer yearly subscriptions. We offer monthly subscriptions. Basically, any plan you need for your firm, we have an option for you. Let me show you what those are. Great. So you can see we have a sole proprietor plan, which includes one user up to 10 clients, includes all of the tests across the board. We have a team plan, which the team plan is designed for up to 25 clients. If you exceed 25 clients, you can add incremental buckets of 25 clients to grow into an enterprise plan, which includes up to 100 clients. It also includes the client health score, which we discussed, Sales IQ, which is a tool that allows your firm to scan prospects books before their clients, get a health report with all of those same rules, and allow you to uncover those skeletons in the closet during that sales process. That is also included in an enterprise plan. And if you exceed 25 clients, again, you can add clients in buckets of 25. And finally, Sales IQ here, which Sales IQ, you can subscribe to that individually. That's unlimited users, unlimited prospect scans, and includes all of those test rules. So number of different options. You can do a yearly plan. You can do monthly if you prefer to just pay for it month after month, whatever works best for your organization. Thank you again for your interest in VERIFYiQ. You can see how powerful of a tool this can be for transforming the way that your firm delivers quality books to your clients. If you have any questions, let us know. Start your 30-day trial, unlimited access to the platform, really kick the tires, and I look forward to seeing you as a customer of VERIFYiQ. Thanks.